The human larynx. The human larynx, also known as the voice box, is a cartilaginous tubular structure situated in the front part of the neck. It is continuous with the trachea or the windpipe. It primarily consists of cartilages and is lined by a mucous membrane. The hyoid bone that sits at the base of the tongue supports the larynx from above. The larynx performs the following vital functions. Air passage. The larynx is located at the crossroads between the respiratory tract and the digestive tract and facilitates breathing by providing a guarded airway. 2. Phonation. The larynx is responsible for producing the voice, as it includes the vocal folds. It allows you to adjust the volume and tone of your voice. 3. Sphincter. It protects the lower parts of the respiratory system. The epiglottis reflexively closes off the opening of the larynx, thus protect the air passage from food particles. Cartilages of the larynx. The larynx consists of 9 cartilages, of which the first 3 are paired and the last 3 unpaired. The 3 unpaired cartilages are thyroid cartilage. This is the largest cartilage and is commonly referred to as the Adam's apple. It is more pronounced in men than in women. To the thyroid cartilage are attached the vocal folds. 2. Cricoid cartilage. This is the only completely ringed cartilage in the airway. It surrounds the windpipe or trachea and is also known as the cricoid ring. 3. Epiglottis. This is leaf-like, elastic cartilage behind the thyroid. During swallowing, it folds back over the larynx to protect the air passage from food particles. Between the hyoid bone, which is above the larynx, and the thyroid cartilage, is the connecting thyrohyoid membrane. Between the thyroid and the cricoid cartilages is the connecting cricothyroid membrane. The paired cartilages include Arytenoid. This is a pair of pyramid-shaped cartilage above the lamina or posterior part of the cricoid membrane that is important for vocal sound production. 2. Corniculate. These are elastic-type cartilages that sit upon the apex of the arytenoid cartilage. 3. Cuneiforms. These are elastic-type cartilages suspended on the aryepiglottic fold, which is the mucosal fold between the epiglottis and arytenoid cartilage. The muscles of the larynx. The larynx also consists of muscles divided into 2 categories, intrinsic and extrinsic. The intrinsic, internal, muscles work on individual parts of the larynx and are critical for voice production. The extrinsic or external muscles are responsible for the movement of the larynx while swallowing, that is, they lift and lower the larynx and the hyoid bone to allow for swallowing. Below is a list of the internal and external muscles of the larynx. Intrinsic muscles. Transverse arytenoid. 2 lateral cricorytenoids. 3 posterior cricorytenoids. 4 cricothyroid. Extrinsic muscles. Voice production in the larynx. When viewed from above, the ventricular folds look similar to curtains that are partly drawn open to form a V shape. Along their edges and running across the larynx are the vocal cords. The gap between the vocal folds is referred to as the glottis. The glottis is vital for producing vowels and consonants. When inhaling and exhaling, the shape of the glottis changes. Deep inhalation causes the glottis to widen, but an attempt to speak causes it to narrow. As you exhale, air rushes through the narrow space of the glottis, causing the vocal cords to vibrate, leading to the production of sound. The movement of the vocal cords also regulates frequency and pitch. When the thyroid muscles move the thyroid cartilage forward and downwards, the vocal cords lengthen and, thereby, reduce the frequency of the vocal cords to produce a low-pitched sound. Similarly, a reduction in the length of the vocal cords increases their frequency and produces a high-pitched sound. Tips for maintaining a healthy larynx and voice. The larynx is susceptible to many ailments and infections. The following tips will assist in keeping your larynx healthy and functioning properly. 1. Stay hydrated. Up to 75% of the body consists of water. Water is therefore critical to the proper functioning of the body, and the larynx is no exception. As a result, you are recommended to drink at least 6 glasses of water per day to keep the larynx and your body properly hydrated. 2. Eat anti-inflammatory foods. Many foods have anti-inflammatory properties, and you should increase them in your diet. The anti-inflammatory foods include tomatoes, spinach, kales, and other green and leafy vegetables. Fatty fish, olive oil, nuts, and fruits should also be increased in your diet. 3. Maintain the mucous membrane. Fruits, vegetables, and whole grains rich in vitamins A, C, and E play an important role in maintaining the mucous lining of the larynx. 4. Safe use of medication. There are many over-the-counter medicines that may adversely affect the larynx. If you have the intention to take medication for allergies or the seasonal flu, it is recommendable to consult your physician for the kind of medication that will not dehydrate your throat and vocal folds. What should you avoid? 1. Acid reflux. Monitor your diet carefully to avoid foods that cause acid reflux. Spicy foods, specifically, need to be avoided as they promote acid reflux that irritates the larynx. 2. Alcohol and caffeine. Alcoholic drinks and caffeine dehydrate the body and, in a similar way, cause the larynx and the vocal folds to dry up. This will also harm your voice if you are a singer. The mucous membrane that lines the larynx is also irritated by alcoholic drinks. 3. Avoid smoking. Smoking irritates the larynx and, studies have also shown that smoking may cause cancer of the throat. 4. Avoid mouthwash. Mouthwash typically contains alcohol or chemicals that irritate the larynx. 5. Avoid straining your neck. The larynx is connected to surrounding tissue using muscles.